women, it could be tough if they don't have that outlet because they feel embarrassed. They don't want to tell their mom that they getting beat. They don't want to tell their sister. They don't want to tell their brother that they getting beat. So it's also a sense of embarrassment that could be going on as well.
Yes, women have a complex of showing the world that they're in a successful relationship. A lot of women have that complex, meaning that they will have this perception that they're living well at home. You understand what I'm saying? They want that narrative to be out there because at the end of the day, they could be envious of another woman that actually has that. See, you got to understand something about women. They're very territorial and they're very envious people.
True.
See, women have that tendency about them. So at the end of the day, we have to be mindful of who we're talking about. So yes, it's an embarrassment thing. Of course it is. But it's also a thing of perception. They don't want to be perceived as their man is beating them and they're going through this. You see? But
yeah, I never thought about that side of it. But that could be more true than it's embarrassing.
Exactly. It is. But the thing about it is this. If you're suffering like that, you have to get out. You have to get out. That's the bottom line. If it's a situation where you're just like actually really the victim, then you have to get out because sooner or later that could lead to death. You see what I'm saying?
Like OJ.
Yes. And another thing about the situation that's kind of bad is this, which a lot of women don't understand. What precedent are you setting for your children?
In most cases, the children don't know, right?
No, the children do know.
Why you say the children know?
You think that the children don't know their mother's getting her butt whipped? Are you crazy? They hear it. They hear the arguments. That doesn't just happen when the children are not home.
Ah, wow. See, now that's a whole nother... You just opened up a whole nother level.
Yes. Now, I'm going to give you a prime example how it starts young, right? Last week, Easter was 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago, yep.
Okay. 2 weeks ago for Easter, I took my daughter and one of my neighbors to an Easter egg hunt, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my daughter was online to get her face painted. She was the first person online. We was waiting for about 15 minutes, but I was like in the background talking to the actual people who threw the cookout.
Mm-hmm.
So this lady with two boys walks up to the front of the line and tells her sons to skip my daughters.
Wow.
So I walked up to her. I said, "Excuse me, miss, are you serious?" She's like, "What do you say? Why did you skip my daughter? Why did you tell your sons to skip my daughter?" She was here first and she was waiting for 15 minutes. So she had the stupid face. She was like, oh, sorry. I said, no, there's no sorry. And I said, number one, forget all of that. Why are you teaching young boys to be disrespectful to women at this young age? I said, you're teaching them that now. When they get older, they ain't going to have no respect for women. What happened to ladies first? And you're a lady. She was so dumbfounded, she just took the boys and left. And all the women was looking at me like they couldn't even believe that I even came up with that. And they started clapping and was smiling. I said, no, I don't want no accolades. Those are two little boys that she's going to raise that's going to hit women. So that's how it starts. When you do stuff like that in front of your children. See, for little girls, you're teaching them to accept that. And for little boys, you're teaching them to do it. You see what I'm saying? A lot of little boys think that that's cool because they seen their father do it, and their mother didn't. Their mother didn't leave, so they think that it's acceptable.
All right, I don't want that thought to leave me, at least, in case anybody else has that. But so you're saying in that, what happened to you and your daughter on Easter Sunday? You're saying yeah, it was important for you to show a lesson, like you gave the boys something, whether they wanted it or not. But you're saying that if you didn't do that, your daughter would have had a perception, or you're saying your daughter would have been in an understanding that that was okay for a boy to do that. Wow.
Exactly. And I'm not going to show her that.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying? 2 lessons. She saw that my father's going to protect me, and she saw too, don't let no man run over me. You see what I'm saying? But it was for the little boys though, and they heard me, and I said that. I said y'all don't do that to girls. I specifically made sure I told them that, because I'm like,
on top of that, on top of her being a female, she was also that they cut her in line.
They cut her in. That's what I was saying. She was teaching them to be disrespectful.
That's crazy. And
I'm like, and I asked, I said, why are you teaching these young boys that at this age? That's not cool. That's what I told her.
Yeah, she did teach them too. It's not like they just did it.
No,
that is crazy. Yeah.
Yes. So she couldn't say nothing because I put her right on the spot. And she had to go home thinking like, damn, this guy really put me under the knife. Like, I was really like, how dare you? And then you are a woman and you're going to do that to a little girl? Like, the nerve of you. Like, and I'm like, you don't teach boys that age, because this is how these young men are growing up hitting women. Their mothers are showing them something that they're not supposed to see. Again, like I said, if a woman stays, she's showing her son that it's okay to do it. And then she's showing her daughter to accept it. If she goes, they see, oh, my mother didn't take that. So now they know something is wrong. If a man does it and his son is watching him and his mother leaves, then he knows, oh, he watched his father lose his mother. So now he might have an understanding of, oh, that's not the right thing to do. And then if a man does it to the wife and his daughter sees it and the wife leaves, she knows, oh, I'm not supposed to let a man hit me. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, more than ever I do.
So this is why leaving is so important if it can't be worked out. If the guy doesn't want to get help. And it's a limit on that too.
Okay, so I got one more thing on this domestic violence, but then I want to talk to you a little bit about Attorney Benjamin Crump.
Yeah.
So there is a small percentage. It's a size enough for us to be talking about it and people to be experiencing it. There's men that are also getting beat by women.
Yeah.
Is the same thing that you're saying for the women, this same true for the men, or do you have something different for the men that are going through abuse?
What do you mean? Like, elaborate on exactly what you're saying.
There's women.
Yes, I understand that part.
There's 2 people in a relationship, a woman and a man, and
no, I'm saying. Okay, you're saying should those same rules apply to the man?
Right. Should the same rules apply to the man? Everything that you've already said, does that same thing, they got to get out, they need to get out, all of that stuff apply to the man? If the man likes it, I have to look at it like he must like that. Because, I mean, for a woman to actually overpower a man is kind of hard. So for him, some men like women like that. So sometimes the man stays because that's what he actually wants. So if he likes it, that's a different thing. You know, if he doesn't like it and he's really don't want to hit the woman and he's scared and all that, he either has to get help, same thing like the woman, or he has to go and find another woman. You know, normally when a man is in a domestic violence situation, he likes it.
to be honest. And I'm not laughing at them because there is some that doesn't like it and go through it. But it's the same rules apply. We all human beings at the end of the day. The same rules apply. They have to get to a point where they could conversate. It has to be more conversation and less violence. Because you're going to argue. I don't care who you are. In any relationship, you're going to argue. You have to learn how to argue and get back to communication.
Okay, so now you just said the argue thing again. So let's go back to the Fabolous situation because there were kids there and a lot of people had an uproar because the kids were crying and they had to see all of that. So is it also, I mean, we obviously know you shouldn't be beating anyone, period. You don't put your hands on anyone. That's clear. But you should also, should you argue in front, how do you feel about arguing in front of your children?
You're not supposed to. Sometimes it happens, and that's when you have to refrain.
Not sometimes, though. I'm talking about there's people out there that this is a normal thing. They're just
they shouldn't. No, they shouldn't. That's not good. That's not good. Even if it doesn't become violent, you shouldn't argue around the kid because you know what? Sometimes whoever is wrong, the kid could choose a side, and that's really not the place of a child. You see what I'm saying?
But you can conversate, which was level 1. It's okay to conversate in front of
I don't think none of that type of situation should be conversating. I think only in front of a child should be the family structure. Like, you know, the good things. Mm-hmm. Okay. You know, that's the perception you want to show the children. You know?
And like you said, sometimes you may have a conversation that you shouldn't. Sometimes you can have an argument, but you're saying that it shouldn't be, none of that should be in front of the children.
No, none of it should. It really shouldn't. It really shouldn't. It should be normally, it should be like, y'all go to your room. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. The children should not see any type of dissension in the relationship.
Now, you know that's big right there, what you just said. Because you know that a lot of people don't understand that. There's a lot of people in relationships right now that are conversating, they're arguing, and you opened up a can of beans talking about people is getting beat in front of their children.
Right. They are.
They don't know this. I see that happen all the time.
That comes from our culture where a lot of men and women are being raised in a single parent home, in a dysfunctional home, in a drug-riddled home. So at the end of the day, they don't have the tools to succeed in real life because they wasn't taught that. Children are only the child that their mother raised. You see what I'm saying? Or their father raised. So your values go back to what you was taught as a child. So it all depends on, you know, what type of home you was raised in. You know, like children that's raised in a fixed home have a better chance of dealing with those situations than the children that was raised in a broken home. Because they got to see two parents and they got to see two parents co-parent on a nuclear level. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's different. It's different. That's why I'm pro fixed family. I really don't like broken families. I feel like you're doing the child a disservice.
Okay.
You know? So
I want to talk to you about attorney Benjamin Crump, but
we could talk. I got some issues on him.
You got issues with him?
Yeah, I know about him. You know, I stay current.
Oh, all right. So I feel that I'm not saying that police officers are not the ones we need to hold to accountability. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that something is missing because he's getting all of these cases, right? Mm-hmm. But we're coming out of a lot of these cases in the black community with no justice.